I'm just going to go with it. We are live from the Giant Bomb Studios in San Francisco, California. It's the Apple Bite Extra Crunchy podcast with your host, Mr. Brian Tong.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Apple Bite Extra Crunchy, Extra Munchy, episode 56. I've been gone for about a week and a half. I was off-site, so that's why we didn't do anything on Friday. So we're going to kind of do a little makeup show Monday with some of the updates that we're talking about, everything that's buzzing in the Apple world. Again, this show is all about you. Please make sure you call us. You are a huge part of our show. 1-800-616-2638 is that number, your name, where you're from, and your message, 20 to 30 seconds tops. We did squeeze, I think, a couple 1-minute guys in.
Yes.
But it's really important to at least get to your point. Let's not ramble on. Let's get to it. So I'm going to get right to the show. And we know it's been about a week since the iPhone and Apple Watch have come out, actually in the hands of people. It's been released in other areas. But we're going to talk about some new product rumors because you guys are probably tired of us talking about the iPhone. Check this out. How about Apple's Echo-like device, their Echo-style smart home device? Now, this has been rumored for quite some time. I have been the number one proponent of the Amazon Echo just from a standpoint of how it was one of those game-changing new platforms that is literally changed how we use our something like voice control in the home automation. And obviously Google is jumping on board, but Apple has also been jumping on board. Now, this report from Bloomberg and Mark Gurman says Apple is pressing ahead with the development of an Echo-like smart home device based on the Siri voice assistant. That's according to the report. It started more than 2 years ago, so that was about the time that Amazon Echo launched. Did you remember when the Amazon Echo came out? Were you like, what is this? Or how did you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it was super awesome. I was like, that's the future right there.
That's
talk to stuff.
Talk to things, but not only that,
I also thought Siri was the future,
Yeah,
when Siri first came out, I was like, I can talk to my phone now.
It was pretty
awesome.
The idea was sweet. It's just that Siri wasn't as good as other stuff like Google, right?
Yeah, but in the very beginning, she was. I'd be like, play Metallica.
Oh, and you were okay with her?
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Google Voices just from a speed and accuracy standpoint. It may not have as much of a personality as Siri.
Oh, yeah.
But it's always been on point. So now Apple is taking this concept of an Amazon Echo-like device, but it'll be an Apple smart home device. And again, it's been going on for 2 years. The device will be designed to control things like appliances, locks, lights, curtains, and via voice activation. The finalized plans are still not done, and they could potentially scrap the project, which they really shouldn't. No. Only because Apple's ecosystem is so huge. You have so many devices. The other cool thing about this is, let's talk about other hooks that it could be involved with. What if it read your emails or your text messages just because you asked them to?
Yes.
Because it was hooked to all those services. Now, if it reaches the market, it would really be its most significant hardware piece since the Apple Watch, which has come out to lukewarm reviews. The Echo has built all these third-party partners. One of our friends, iDevicesinc.com, is one of those people.
I was going to give a shout.
Working with smart devices, right? You got to give them a little bit of a shout out.
I was going to give a little shout, yeah.
But Google's Home is coming out reportedly next week at their keynote on October 4th. So it'll be interesting to see where they stand, how they differentiate themselves from Amazon, and then really, is there space for a third model? Because I always feel like there's...
I think so.
We'll see. For Apple users, there always is, right?
For sure.
But
the thing that I've been hearing about this device is that people are worried because it has a camera in it.
There's supposed to be some sort of face recognition.
Yeah, and it knows who walks in the room, and maybe it'll start playing music
from your purchase songs or something.
Yeah.
That you have on iTunes.
So that raised some privacy scares for a lot of people.
I would think so. Apple earlier acquired facial recognition startups FaceShift and Emotion, not FaceTime, FaceShift and Emotion over the past 2 years. And that kind of leads to the connection of how are they going to use this visual facial recognition, besides always serving as a controller for some of these smart home devices, which we've used to seeing. We could process a lot of different Siri commands. We talked about emails, text messages. What about tweets, streaming content from Apple Music? You can see how their ecosystem hooks would be really nice with this device.
Oh, for sure.
So we don't expect it to come anytime soon. The report also says the standalone speaker was initially going to potentially work with some sort of Apple TV functionality. They were attempting to actually integrate it into the Apple TV. but then said, I think we should just make this its own device like the Amazon Echo.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, why would they do that? Because it already Apple TV already has sort of that built in. You could talk to Siri and say
Through the remote,
watch,
right?
Yeah, I want to watch such and such. So, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Really.
You could almost, if they could adopt the technology and just basically pop into that Siri remote, that would actually be really nice. But to have an always-on listening speaker type device like the Echo, you can do so many things with it.
Totally. You can get CNET podcasts on it.
Uh-oh, look out.
Hey-o.
So that's going to be really cool to see how that all kind of comes together. Another thing that we've been talking about is the Apple Watch 2, but another report from Bloomberg, Bloomberg's Alex Webb is talking about how Apple is working actively on kind of the next generation of HealthKit. Now, we know HealthKit collects some of those metrics you do while you're active, you're running, your heart rate, your steps, but they're hoping that HealthKit can evolve and do more things like come up with apps that are part of the platform for things like sleep, tracking your sleep patterns. Another one would be to actually gauge your fitness level. How do you do that? Measuring the time taken from your heart rate to fall from its peak to resting level. That's how they can measure your actual your overall fitness level. We already know they have apps that measure heart rate, but this to actually take all these data points and then create kind of a profile or be able to read them and combine them and give you an overall view, diagnostic of your health. That's what they're hoping to do with this next evolution of HealthKit, really turn it into a diagnosis based on these multiple metrics and apps that are hooked into it.
That's cool. So then Siri can know when you're sick, right?
I'm sick, Siri.
Siri, I don't feel good. Apple
Siri, I'm feeling down. I'm feeling down.
Well, that's like, I don't know. I feel like Apple's going to have a lot of information on us. They're like, okay, Stephen Beacham is sick right now.
He might. Yeah, they might. They have plenty. They probably already have that without you knowing.
They probably do. It's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've Apple bought Glimpse Incorporated. It was a startup that was built for pulling electronic health records from different databases, and the hope is that, in addition, we've always heard about Apple getting involved in the medical fields. Apple is hoping to use all of these different pieces of the puzzle, put them together, and then help them build electronic health records in a simple, digestible format, pretty much directly from your watch using software.
That's cool, man.
So it's kind of, they really want to be part of that healthcare platform. We've already seen them use it, and experimentally the iPhone, where they've talked about how they use it for like diabetes tests and things of that nature and pilot programs. So it's bringing the Apple Watch to the next level. We'll see how that plays out. I do have to say about the current Apple Watch 2, I got one, but I just, at the end of the day, I personally don't care about GPS enough, and I'm just going to return it. Like,
oh, really?
My current Gen 1 Apple Watch with Watch OS Trace is more than good enough for me right now.
Oh, that's cool.
The waterproofing, someone actually called about this.
Yeah, the waterproofing.
It was like, hey, does the first gen Apple Watch actually waterproof? It's not officially waterproof, but it is water resistant. Yeah. There is no actual official metric. We took showers with it for fun, but it doesn't have like the same waterproofing actual coated seals inside like the new Series 2 does. And if you really care about water sports, yada, yada, you probably should lean towards the Series 2. But you can, I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, but it's pretty darn good with just the first gen Apple Watch.
Yeah, it also doesn't have the squirting mechanism out of the speaker, right?
The
water
speaker,
squirting.
yeah, the speaker, what is the water ejection speaker?
Yeah.
That was crazy in the Apple Watch 2. I did find out though that before you go swimming, you actually have to turn on that mode so it closes the speaker off. So you better not F up and forget to activate the water ejection speaker.
That's funny.
And then potentially get water inside of your Apple Watch that cannot be ejected.
Wow.
So you do have to turn on essentially like a mode for it.
I had no idea.
I did not know that until I read that.
Oh, okay.
Like many things on the internet. I did not know that.
I did not know that.
I did not know that. But so for me now, I like to test this stuff out. I think the Apple Watch 2 for me is a no-go right now. They are using an actual bigger battery, but the returns on the overall battery life have been shown or reported to pretty much be the same. So I have been scolded for saying, oh, it has a better battery. Fine, it has a bigger battery, but you don't actually see those gains in the end. So that makes it interesting. But again, if you're a GPS person, runner, or swimmer, that's the only reason I really think you should even look at this. Otherwise, look at some of the better deals on the Series 1.
Are you a GPS person?
No, I don't run. Right? I don't run on trails, so I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, even if you do go run on trails and you have the GPS enabled, then like you look at it and you're like, oh, there's a bunch of little colored lines. Like, sweet, awesome.
I mean, it's nice.
Look at my colored lines, guys.
I like the Nike Plus app allowed you to watch your trail, but again, if you have to really be a trail runner to, I think, get the best advantage of it. If you just run around residential streets and stuff, no one cares. But to kind of see your path can be fun and useful. I'm curious what people think about it. They might be listening to us like, no, I totally love it. Let us know like what you would really use the GPS in for the Apple Watch at 1-800-616-2638, because I don't know if it's just me. I think it's nice, but it's not a gotta have.
Nah, yeah, exactly.
Something that you might want to have, Mac OS Sierra.
Hey,
Mac Sierra.
I got it on my work laptop.
It's here. How's it doing for you?
I love it.
Is it working just like
Yeah.
You know what? To me, it honestly feels a lot like El Capitan. Like,
yeah, I haven't.
Are you using anything different?
I
with
haven't
it yet?
noticed.
You just feel like it's at least faster.
It's just faster.
Yeah.
It looks more slick. New startup screens. That's really about it.
Subtle new shading and buttons and transparencies and things like that. It's here. It came out on the 20th. Some people, at least a couple of people, told me that it overheated their logic board.
Oh yeah.
So
I haven't noticed that.
I don't know if it's a widespread issue, but again, like anything, there's no need to rush it. I was out on a trip, so I was able to install it on Friday night, but it took, or Saturday night. So I was behind, but I didn't, when I started using it, I'm like, oh, I'm not missing much. Just doing some updates with Mac Sierra. So let us know what you guys think about it. You have the built-in Apple Pay. You have the Siri functionality. You have the ability to unlock your Mac with your Apple Watch if you're within vicinity. You have a few little bells with that. There's the iCloud drive that is kind of like, think of it, your desktop that can now be used on pretty much or accessed on any Mac at any time. It's like
that's cool.
It's like a cloud drive, basically.
Yes.
That's
why
I
use Dropbox all the time, so that could be useful for me.
Yeah, I'll probably still use Dropbox.
yeah.
Right, just because you're so used to it.
Yeah, I'm totally. It's like, it's ingrained.
It is. It totally is. So we have that. Just a few other small updates. We talked about the iPhone launching worldwide. It's launched in 30 more countries now. The Apple Watch Series 2 has arrived in 20 plus countries, and then iOS 10.0.2. The update, it fixed this little lightning headphone issue where if you were using the lightning earpods on your Apple iPhone, potentially it could stop functioning. The remote could stop working. You couldn't control the volume. So they have fixed that in there.
Okay, good.
Very nice.
Oh, yes.
What's even nicer? How about a word from our sponsor?
Oh, okay.
Let's get to it. iDevices, handpicked by Apple to become to be the original HomeKit launch partners, currently has the largest line of HomeKit products on the market. iDevices believes in top-in-the-quality craftsmanship, sleek design aesthetic, smart home customization, designed and engineered in-house in Avon, Connecticut. It stands behind the quality and craftsmanship of their products. 100% US-based customer service from real people. iDevices has a complete line of connected home products, including a smart plug, Wi-Fi thermostat, rain-tight outdoor smart plug, and newly introduced socket adapter to make any dumb bulb a smart bulb.
All right, each product has a fully customizable nightlight that can add ambience and flair to your smart home. There is no hub, there are no fees. It just works with simple setup and seamless integration. Let's talk about the premier HomeKit aggregator app. You can manage and control all iDevice products and any other HomeKit enabled device. These are more than just gadgets. They are...
You could do it, man. You could do it.
These are more than just gadgets. These are smart home products designed for a complete smart home experience.
Booyah. So surf on over to iDevices.com and use the promo code AppleBite. That's for 15% off. It's iDevicesinc.com. Off your home evolution. Say it with me, Steven. iDevices. Evolving your home. Sweet. Thanks, iDevices, for continuing to roll with us on the Apple Bite Extra Crunchy. Nothing but love for you all, and you all should check it out. We have used them, and they are pretty sweet. Just a few quick hits before we get our voicemails. Apple will begin selling the Sonos wireless speaker systems online starting today, and then in stores next month. If you're familiar with Sonos and their smart speakers in your home, ability to play music in multiple rooms, same songs in different rooms, different songs in different rooms. A really cool platform, and It's on. I think what might be behind it. I'm sorry, I blanked for a second. I believe Apple Music is now finally. It was running a beta on Sonos, and so that's probably most likely why they're coming out to retail stores now that they fully support it.
Totally like different question than the Sonos thing.
Hit me.
Can you use these Sonos speakers for like 5.1 surround wirelessly?
Well, you can place them. I know that at least you can do a 2.1 surround setup. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't recall if you can do a 5.1. I feel like you can't, but someone's going to correct me because I don't have a Sonos set, but it's really more for like that medium size to bigger size home speaker in different rooms that then can link up. They have like I believe they have a Sonos like soundbar, but not like a 5.1 if I recall. But if I'm wrong, just, give me a bad apple.
Okay.
Also, this is Apple patents are very exciting here for the Apple Bite Extra Crunchy. I mean, the patents really tell us, what Apple is looking to do down the future.
Oh yeah.
What about this one, Beecham? You want to talk about this?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it up here on the website, on the CNET.com website, but Apple has patented a new design for paper bags.
What?
So they're reinventing the paper bag, Brian Tong. This is a big deal. Let me find that paper bag article.
I can tell you some specifics about it.
Please tell me.
Okay, so this bag, right? It's literally an Apple retail store bag. And what makes this is a patent application that was applied by Apple. The paper bag may include a bag container, that's basically the shape of the bag, formed of white solid bleached sulfate paper with at least 60% post-consumer content.
That's the hook, 60% post-consumer content.
So
it's like way more efficient.
It's easier. I think it's also easier to break down as well.
Yes. Better for the environment.
This is an Apple patent, ladies and gentlemen. So I would run to your stores immediately and ask them if they have the new Apple
paper bag.
The iBag?
Yeah.
iBags?
Yeah, I was reading the article. It's interesting. Like
handbags, earbags.
Apple has a history of patenting random stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess they patented a fabric with laser etched words on it.
Oh yeah,
laser printed T-shirt or something like that. And then a 5-axis robotic arm, which seems like someone would already have a patent on that.
I bet you know what that 5-axis robotic arm is for.
I have no idea.
Do you remember when they launched? I believe it was the iPhone 6s, possibly. They showed off that robotic arm that kind of dismantles iPhones and helps recycle them.
It had a name, like
not
Jeeves
Norm
or something like that.
But I bet you that he's related to that patent somehow, some way.
Totally.
He just might be. And since we're talking about kind of goofy, quirky gadgets, has the tech game gone a step too far? Has it? Because check this out. This is called the Ludella. It is a smart candle.
Yeah,
but
that's too far.
It's an iPhone-controlled smart candle that it's not like a LED light. It's an actual flame. It's the first. It's the world's first real flame smart candle. It's called Ludella. It will retail. This candle, buddies, ladies and gentlemen, will be going for $149.
Are you kidding me?
They'll start for pre-order at $99. Those candles better last for a lifetime.
Wow. So it's not. It never melts, huh? Is it?
I guess not.
Wax?
It
looks like wax.
It has a changeable scent.
And it has a real.
It has a real legit flame. Candlelight, baby. Ludella. Ludela. Look it up.
There's got to be like some disposable cartridge inside.
I don't know.
Putting out gas or something.
I do not know.
But yeah, wow.
I do not know. All right. Shall we get to our awesome voicemails?
Yes, let's do
Remember, y'all can call us on the Apple Bite Extra Crunchy. Where? How? Who, what, when, where, why, how? I have the number, 1-800-616-2638. Let's get to the calls.
Okay, let me stop the song here. Here we go. Call number 1.
Hi, my name's Josh. I'm from Ambler, Pennsylvania. I absolutely love your show. Thanks for doing it. My specific question is about the future of the iPad Air. the iPad Mini. I have the iPad Mini 4. I really love the size, form factor, but I'd really love an iPad Mini that was basically an iPad Mini Pro. The A8 processor is kind of weak for this day and age. So I'm wondering if you think that'll get upgraded in the spring or whether they'll just do away with the iPad mini, considering people are buying iPod Pluses. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
I think they're going to keep it around as long as they possibly can, just because of the form factor. I really hope that we see something new, but no, there have been no actual rumblings that have pointed to anything iPad mini related, like you kind of talked about. It looks like because of the larger screen iPhone taking up some of that big screen stuff, at the moment, it looks like next year's iPad release will be a 9.7, a 10.5, and a 12.9. That's everything we've heard so far. So we will wait and see. I think the iPad mini still has a place, in the product line, but at the same time, they just aren't selling that many iPads. So we'll see where Apple believes that they're making their bread and butter, because quite honestly, and as sad as it is for me to say, because I'm a huge iPad Pro junkie, the iPad line in general just isn't getting much love.
Yeah.
Because people aren't buying them as much.
You don't need them.
You can do fine with like a second gen one.
Yeah.
First gen one even.
And once you buy one, you can keep it for like years and years and years and don't have to.
Forever.
So, okay, next call.
Hey, Cheech and Kong. This is John calling from Spotsylvania, Virginia. Just curious if you guys thought that iTunes Radio, aka iTunes Music now, pretty much, is it going to ever have a web interface so that we can get to it when we're, say, at work instead of having to have iTunes installed, which is not possible for a lot of people? Just curious what your thoughts are on that. All right, later.
Okay, I have some device. It's a good question. I do have some advice for my buddy. I think they really actually would prefer that you use your phone or your other device to go to iTunes and buy music from it instead of using a web-based store.
Yeah.
Because it's in your pocket. It's there anytime. I get what you're saying. I'd like to surf the desktop, and you're saying, oh, you can't install iTunes on that actual physical machine. Well, you got iTunes on your gadget. And I'm assuming that he probably has an iPhone. Otherwise, he wouldn't be using iTunes at all.
Yeah, I was thinking he's thinking more like like a not like a Spotify, but like what's the other one? Starts with a.
Does it record just like quick music?
It's
clips?
like just music radio kind of application. You know what I mean? I think he's talking
not
more
musically.
Rhapsody.
Oh,
I was thinking of Rhapsody.
Rhapsody.
Where it's just like an online music radio service that's playing that. It's just its own app, so you don't have to have iTunes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why don't they do something?
They
like
did
that?
for a while, and then now they just direct you directly to the app. But he's saying, but what if I can't download the app on the machine?
Yeah, because a lot of people at work, we couldn't get Mac OS Sierra on our computers here at work.
Not allowed yet. Not allowed. We were like, I always feel like we're like 6-7 months after they bring it out, we're then allowed to use it. But we're on a corporate network, and they want to make sure they keep it tight. They don't want to get hacked.
But yeah, that's a good question. I think they should. Why not?
Manpower.
People would download that.
I think they would, but I think it's just more of a manpower issue. I think there's a lot of things that they'd feel like, I think we're gonna work on updating the software to X, Y, and Z before we do this.
Yeah, and if they did that, they should have done it when they launched the radio stations that they did. What were the
just when they
Beats One and stuff like that?
And just in general, when they update an OS, release it then.
Yeah, totally.
Just do something with that, with it aligning with the software, so at least you have a good story to tell. So, all right, thanks for calling, buddy.
Okay, next call.
Hey, Brian and Beach. This is Shane from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Just calling to say love your show. Thank you guys for keeping me company while I'm driving for work. With the Apple Lightning headphones, do those work on previous generations, or is it something just for the iPhone 7? Also, curious if we've looked at what are the benefits of using that driver, using the Lightning driver for headphones. Is that something of benefit, or is it just gimmicky? Thanks. Love the show.
How about this? I won't call it gimmicky, but it is a pure digital audio connection.
Yes.
So that's one benefit. But I will tell you, using an iPhone with a Lightning connector, earpods, and a dongle for regular earpods, it has created a lot of subtle nitpicky issues that you just never would think of.
Really?
So, for example, how about this? Plug in my earpods with Lightning to my laptop, to my phone, but I can't plug them into my laptop. I'll need to use an adapter.
Yeah.
Or I'll just buy another pair of headphones for my laptop. How about I don't want to lose the earpod headphones, because to me, it's annoying. I'd rather bring a dongle converter with an actual real audio headphone so that it's more versatile when I try to use them anywhere else. Right? Once you have earpod headphones, you can't use it on any other device, only an Apple device.
Yeah.
But if like maybe it sounds silly, but if you want to hear something from your friends, maybe you're at some sort of kiosk, or maybe you're in a car or whatever that has auxiliary, you want a real physical audio headphone connection. There's so many subtle uses that I'm like, oh man, by getting away with that, it's just not going to work. And how about plugging your phone and listening to it at the same time and charging at the same time?
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. There's all these little things. So I think that really the major benefit is Apple's telling us that it helps slim their products down, which no one is necessarily asking for, but that's okay. And then creating a pure digital audio connection.
Cool. All right. Last call for alcohol.
Hi, this is Martin from North Carolina. I wanted you guys to talk about Apple's neglect of the Mac lineup. Like, for example, the Mac Pro from 2013. When it came out, it already had outdated hardware, never mind now, and it's way more expensive for the performance than anything you could get out of a custom-built PC, with all the professional software you would need, too. The Mac Minis from 2014, those dual cores, the high-end ones, they perform worse than the quad-core Mac Minis from 2012. That's very frustrating. And then the iMac baseline starts at 1.6 gigahertz of dual-core processing power with a 5,400 RPM hard drive, and that's $1099. That is just unacceptable in 2016. I thought Apple would have moved on to higher power, higher base clock speeds, and all flash memory by now, but, Anyway, let me know your thoughts on these things. Thanks. Bye.
My friend, as the great Michael Jackson once said, "You are not alone, because I am here with you." Okay, I'm going to stop that because people are like, all right, I just got to the end of this podcast without him singing once. I'm going to turn it off now.
That's beautiful.
Okay. I am here to stay. Okay. I'm going to stop.
Gorgeous voice.
No, thank you. Oh, Michael Jackson, not mine. But no, you are not missing it. We are expecting to potentially see some Macs getting upgraded in October, hopefully. I don't know if they're going to even upgrade the entire line, but they really desperately need to do something. Even just the Mac Pros, like their high-end, desktop workstation. I don't think it's been updated in at least 2 years. And our editors are like, this is not the best video editing machine we've worked on. A lot of our editors are not
They're running into
really
problems.
happy with it.
Yeah, totally. That's the garbage can, right?
Yes, it's the trash receptacle, the jet engine. I think we will definitely see new iMacs. It'll be bumped up with graphics cards and processors. And the Mac Mini, good lord, 5,400 RPM drive. You got to get up on that.
Oh yeah. There's so many factors. I think it's like they're building a car. They're building
too many
the
things.
Siri-enabled thing. They're building, they're focus on the phone. They're trying to innovate the phone, the headphone. There's so many things. They're building this massive Cupertino
headquarters
space building. So
they got money.
I think it's a lot of stuff. So maybe they're just like neglecting a little bit.
You can see, I think more than anything, you can see the neglect in their software focus.
Yes.
Because all I'm saying, I kind of pointed out, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but I pointed how the iOS 10 podcast app versus music app versus movie app, they're all media players.
Yeah.
But they're all completely different in how they, completely different
way
in how
they
they're
look.
laid out, how they're used.
Yes.
Straight up, the music player is like a column on the far right side that looks like what your phone is. It's not filled to the screen on an iPad. I'm just like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
So, they're stretched thin. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I accidentally updated my phone to iOS 10. Like I plugged it in and then the computer just started doing it.
Why not?
Yeah, I thought it was updating iTunes, but it actually updated. But I'm living with it and it's okay. The music app is a little better. The buttons are bigger.
It's just a more streamlined. I do like the music app. It's just nicer.
It's a little better
easier.
now.
It's easier to get to stuff.
So that's about it.
It's not as crazy, but I've been using the iPhone 7 and I've got to tell you, I don't have a 7 Plus. Okay, the home button, that's like a flat, taptic feedback touchpad, kind of like a laptop touchpad. It took time to get used to, but I'm used to it. But man, I really feel like I'm just using an iPhone 6S.
Really?
I really do.
Really?
other than the fact that there's a lightning cable that bugs me in the home button. But I'm not complaining about it, ladies and gentlemen. The speed of it is nice, but these phones are already so fast. When you start dealing with this every day, you're like, I don't really feel much of a difference.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like I'm missing something.
Well,
you are.
What I've noticed is just the lift to wake, when you just lift your phone and it wakes up. How do I turn that off? Because I don't like it. I'm afraid it's going to affect my battery life.
It most likely does. Let's see here.
Someone could just tweet me or something.
Someone could just say, yo, how I'm gonna look in the settings on that. I can't remember.
I looked all over the place and I could not find how to turn that off. Because now every time I lift up my phone, it lights up, and I do not like that.
Okay, here we go. Go in your display and brightness. I was trying to find out what it was actually called because I'm like, I think it's called something different. It's raise to wake.
Raise to wake.
Turn
That's
that
what I was
bad boy
looking
off.
for.
Turn that bad boy off,
Display and brightness.
Raise to wake.
Okay, there it is. Got it.
All right.
Thank you.
Miracles happen here on the show. Just to wrap us up. I did fix it. I fixed it. Wrapping us up, again, we'd like to thank today's sponsors, iDevices, manufacturing meticulously designed and thoughtful products like smart plugs, switches, thermostats, and socket and light bulb adapters that turn any dumb bulb into a smart bulb with dimming capabilities and full color customizable night lights. If you're still watching this, I'm going to say this. It works with Siri and Alexa.
Hey-o!
Haha, your echo just went off. Surf on over to iDevicesInc.com. That's INC. Use the promo code AppleBite for 15% off your home's evolution. Say it with me, Steven.
iDevices, evolving your home. All right.
That's going to do it for this week's early show. I guess we are planning on having one on Friday if everything goes all right with our schedules. It's the AppleBite Extra Crunchy, episode 56. That's a wrap. We'll see you guys, hear you guys, talk to you guys in a bit. Peace.
Peace out.